ran into a 22-year-old Southsider, blasted that motherfucker. And while I'm shooting at him, his family member that he brought and chose to gangbang in front of got hit with a ricochet. Boo and who?
Buenos Dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it? You already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye. Let's get to this intro. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I appreciate the support, man. I'm very humbled by it. So what happened now? I'm going to tell you what happened now. You are now slapping with Thumps, right? You're now rocking with the guns. The Sacramento Norteno rapper slash fitness guru slash motivational speaker, Thumpz from Sacra, I guess they could say he got caught slipping. He got caught lacking. I don't think he got caught lacking. I think he got caught smacking because there's a video that surfaced on the internet where he slapped the soul. That about the soulless, like he's from OTR Records. He slapped the soul. Okay? The motherfucking lightning slap. He slapped the soul out of an upstate Southsider in Reno, right? Now, what does that mean? It means a whole lot of nothing to people that are just out there living their lives. But when you're gangbanging and you're going back and forth on the internet and people are calling you all kinds of different types of suckers, man, and you ain't going to do nothing and you're not going to pull up. Well, this is definitely a demo. He laid a demo down, right? This goes to show you, man, if you see someone in traffic, if you see someone in public and you attempt to run up on them or attempt to say something, a lot of people ain't going to take a step back like Tommy Guns, right? A lot of people are going to take 2, 3, 4 step forwards and hit you with the thunder slap, right? That dude hit him with something vicious. Now, of course, I'm not going to show you that video here. You can easily find it on Thumpz slaps the shit out of fucking a dude.com, right? It's out there on Instagram. And I seen the video this morning, and I thought if for no other reason I should do a video talking about the situation. Now, here's the situation right here. Thumpz is in Reno. He looks like he's at a local convenience store just doing his thing, and runs into what people are allegedly saying is an upstate Southsider. Now, I looked at all the comments, and there's a lot of people saying that, hey, that dude wasn't ready. That dude didn't have the posture of someone who was posing a threat. That dude is just a paisa. And I'm here to say, man, what is wrong with being just a paisa? I know some paisas that'll knock your motherfucking teeth backwards, okay? I hate it when people are like, he's just a paisa. He ain't about shit. Well, I've done time with the gang of paisas, and I got a lot of paisa friends, man, that'll fucking go straight up paisa on you. So the disrespect is heavy, right? You got all these dudes that run around talking about raza this, raza that, Mexicans this, brown power that, and then when they get fucked up or someone gets beat up, oh, he's just a paisa. The disrespect is so fucking outlandish when it comes to that. It's always been that way too. Oh, man, the homie got beat up. He's a paisa anyways. Fuck all that, bro. I rock with the paisas. Now what, right? So there's also another thing like, he's just a white dude. Shit, you better, brother. Them fucking woods rock, brother. You ain't got the taste slapped out of your mouth until you got slapped by wood, brother. All right? If a woodchuck can chuck a wood, if he can slap the shit out of you, then he would. And that's just it. But the disrespect is so real. It always goes to a racial situation. Oh, he's just a paisa. He's just a white boy. He's just this. He's just that. Nah. Man, give everyone their respect. And then you won't be getting the shit slapped out of your mouth. So Thumpz slaps this dude who's been identified as an upstate Southsider. Now, does that mean something real big? It means that Thumpz ain't playing. It means that if people run up on him for a square one, for a fair one, he's going to get off where he's mad at first. Look, I ain't never thought that dude Thumpz was no punk. With a name like Thumpz, he's thumping, right? But there are individuals that feel some type of way about him just because of some of the moves he's made. Just because he went to LA and he played handball with the Southsider, or he did what he did and then he doubled back and then had a lot to say about it in a disrespectful manner. There's people that didn't identify and were mad. People like Neil Dezad. There's other people on the internet that feel some type of way. And there's a lot of people that are bringing up his case that actually sent him to prison. Okay, that man has told you many times. He has reiterated his story several times. His story has never switched up. He was in a public place. He's a gang member, allegedly active gang member at the time, young. Someone runs up on him with the family member, and he got off where he was mad at. He was 16 years old. That individual was 22 years old. When you're gangbanging and you're really in the mix like that, age doesn't matter, okay, when it comes to fighting and all that, unless it's a youngster and you're older and then you're taking advantage of that situation, then yes, age does matter. But when you're a young thug, man, 16, 17 years old, man, and an older fellow wants to get in the mix with you, he's in the wrong because you're young. He should be trying to guide you and be trying to realize the situation ain't cool because you're a kid. But gangbanging doesn't see no color lines. It don't see no age. It don't see any of that. It just sees red and blue, and it sees an individual that poses a threat, and whoever gets off first gets off first. In that case, Thumps decided to pull a burner and get off first. And, an innocent victim was hit. That man's family was hit. But like Thumps says it, that dude was gangbanging in front of a family member, and unfortunately, his family caught the hot one. That sucks. It's not cool. I'm not promoting it. I'm not saying Thumps was in the right or that dude was in the wrong, but I'm saying it was an unfortunate situation. And what happened? Thumps had to go sit down actively on a GP yard, and that dude's fucking family member ain't right, can't get right. You can't blame a gang member for doing what they do. Yes, gangs are the scourge of society. I know people used to look at me some type of way. I used to feel it when I walked into a store, when I walked into a mall, when I walked into a prison. The way people looked at you and made you feel, there was no respect there. It was like, what are you doing here? What's your issue? What are you going to do now? Right? I felt like that with my own friends, family, a lot of people for a lot of years, but you overlook that. You get past that feeling because there's a cause and there's the respect of your peers that means much more to you, regardless of if, behind your back, they're going to tell on you or they're talking shit about you. You, in your mind, think, you know what? Hey, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Fuck what they're talking about, right? Thumps seems like a good guy as far as he did his time the way he was supposed to do it. He got out and created this persona and created this av for him to do positive things. But again, you can't speak positivity to people and talk about, hey, how to build your health, how to help yourself, how to create this image of this person that you've always wanted to be. And then at the same time, gangbang, when you know that you can have this motherfucker doing push-ups and working out for so long, and then you're going to tear him down with one bullet. So it's kind of a hard situation with Thumps to see if does he really mean all the shit that he says. Now, him taking care of himself, working out and doing what he does, that's that man. That's his business. That's what's up. You got to respect someone for taking care of themselves and standing on business. And did Thumps stand on business this weekend in Reno? He absolutely did stand on business. Everybody knows that dude feels some type of way about upstate Southsiders. He might not feel the exact same way about the Southsiders down south, but I'm here to tell you there is no difference. Upstater, Reno, Southsider, they're all the opposition to the north, and they all feel some type of way when they feel some type of way. They don't care about Nortenos on the streets. It's much different than prison. They're not actively going out of their way looking for Nortenos, especially the ones down south. But the upstate movement is definitely at guerra with the Nortenos. There's definitely war. Okay, if the roles were reversed and there was a few upstate Southsiders, man, and they caught Thump slipping, they'd get their thump on. But in this case, this was a one-on-one situation. This was a situation where it looked like both these individuals were minding their own business, doing their own thing. Hey, and the world spoke, right? And that's how it is. And Thumps done ran into someone who had something to say. Now, when I watched the video, it didn't sound like the dude was being disrespectful. It did sound like there was some confrontation. Of course, you don't get to see the whole thing and hear what was said before the thunder slap, right? Thunder strike! that was a thunder strike. But you do see the individual definitely walking up on Thumps. You see Thumps' posture. He has a fighting stance, meaning if you run up, you're going to get done up. And dude did walk up slowly. He had a bag in his hand, and his posture seemed to be I don't want that smoke. I just want to talk about it. And there was no time for talking with Thumps. He just got off. Now, there's going to be individuals that are going to go in the comments and say, oh, that fool caught that fool. See, snaked that fool. Look, when a man is walking up on you, you have to do what you have to do. Case in point. I seen a video that was posted over the weekend by Neil Dezad. And if you guys don't know who Neil Dezad is, he's a black Southsider from Southern California who definitely hates Norteños and hates everything they stand for. And he was sitting in his vehicle. It was nighttime. He was sitting in his vehicle, and according to the video, he's seen somebody with a hoodie on, with a mask on, walking very close to his vehicle. Now, being a content creator, having watched videos where people will just pull up to your spot and get off where they're mad at, if the ad is dropped or if they know your location, that dude did exactly what he was supposed to do. He jumped out of the vehicle, and he hit that dude up. He did a temperature check. He said, hey, bro, what's up? I see you walking close to my vehicle. What's good, right? And that dude was like, no, 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 a whole bunch of no-no-nos, right? And if you look, that dude's hand was, of course, in his pocket. So I understand where Zod was coming from. Hey, you look, bro, you gotta hold it down. You gotta be aware. That's called situational awareness. He was aware, right? Of course, nothing happened, but I seen the G in Zod. He was ready to do something, or he was definitely ready to protect himself, and he did a temperature check. Okay, now this was definitely. That's the way he does his temperature checks. He said, hey, what up, big doc? You good, homie? You good, big doc? Right? Letting them know, hey, I'm aware that you're getting close. And what is it? Right? And it wasn't none of that. Now, Thump's awareness check is a little bit different. You know, he's not thinking about, hey, you're getting too close. You walk up, you're getting thunderstriked, right? And that's it. That's the mentality of the Norteños. I'm not saying it's different from Southsiders, because I know Southerners that is just fucking, they'll do fucking 2 jumping jacks, a cartwheel, a bungee jump, and come over and just crack you, right? No joke. But the way the Norteño business was taught to me, and I'm sure Thumpz was laced in a similar fashion, right? Get off where you're mad at. Even if you're not mad, get off. Being on prison yards with the minimal soldados, meaning being on the yard with 8, 9, 10 homies, 150 Southsiders, a couple hundred blacks, 50 whites, 30 others, 50 paisas, right? You learn that. You learn that, hey, we don't have many people here, so we need to all stick together, and we need to all move as a unit, as a máquina, and get off, right? If you see anyone posing a threat, or you even think they're posing a threat, get off. Because, hey, that hesitation could be the end of the carro, right? It could be that could be it. You know, if you are not aware and up on game and say, hey, you know what, we're just going to let these vatos walk into our area or not, then you get fucked up. Let me tell you guys a little story that was told to me. And it's a true, actual, factual story. When High Desert Prison first opened, okay, there was a murder on the yard. And the first person that was killed on that yard was a Norteño. And let me explain to you why, the reasoning behind that, if you've never heard the story. It had just opened, and everyone was trying to figure out their area on the yard. Okay, that's usually how, when new prisons open, it is. You're going to have the Norteños that sit at this table and say, you know what, this is our area. You're going to have the Southsiders who probably have a few more tables, their handball court, their little area. Then you have the brothers, man, who are doing their thing. Like, everybody is trying to figure out what everybody else is doing. And there's plenty of times where there's riots or melees because they might want that table or that side of the yard, or they might want this or that, right? And groups are like not going to give it up. So you have to fight for your fucking little piece of land for where you planted your flag. But at this situation, when High Desert opened, everyone had their little bit of areas, right? But nothing was really established. In their minds, the Norteños were like, this is our table, this is our area. We're going to hold it down. We're not going to let no Southsiders or Woods, who are the opposition in prison, right, walk through our area. We're going to let them know, like, this is us. And I believe that the other groups felt the same way, right? So there was a situation where a Southsider got very close to the area, and a Norteño decided to tell him something. He said, hey, bro, you can't walk through our area. Now, when he said that, the Southsider said, what the fuck you mean, Thumps? See, because having done time with Southsiders, the way they feel, the arrogance of a Southerner, right, is that the whole yard belongs to them. You are just renting space, and you are even lucky that you are on the yard. Now, I'm not saying that the Norteños ain't handling business or other groups won't handle business and that the Southsiders are just punking everyone. It's not the way it is. But that's their arrogance. That's their belief. When they're on the yard, even if there's 1 or 1,000 of them, that's their yard, right? So when this guy was like, hey, you're walking through our area, Holmes, that dude was like, what area? He was like, this area right here. So he was holding it down for his people. The Norteño was letting them know, like, hey, bro, you come over here, it's going to be bad for you, right? And the Southsider was just like, all right, that's it. Cool. He went back, and of course, his homeboy said, hey, what was that Norteño telling you, bro? And he was like, oh, they were saying, fucking, we can't walk through their area right there. And them Southsiders are like, who told you that? That dude's dead, right? Because they felt some type of way, like you're not going to debo or punk or tell us on our yard what it is. And that dude ended up getting whacked. He did get killed, and then there was, some back and forth there. I say that to say this. I tell you that story because the mentality is with people, right? When you're really in the gang and you're really with the business, little subtle things like that could set it off. With Thumps, he sees a Southerner who, of course, might have said something to him, maybe disrespected him, and his mentality snapped in quick. His education as a Norteño went straight into play, and it's like, hey, bro, we're going to get off. The same way them Southerners felt in High Desert, like, nah, we're not going to let dudes say no, we're going to get off. That's the get off mentality. That's what gangs were, what organizations were in the past. Nowadays, it's a little bit different. There's a lot of people that are more hesitant. They don't want to do more time for whatever reason. But back in the days, it was just get off. Let's go. I remember being in the youth authority and being short, man, on yards. And it's just like the mentality was just get off for anything. If a motherfucker looks at you funny, get off. Because that was the answer to everything. Violence was the answer, I guess. Right? You killed 2 birds with 1 stone. You protected yourself, and at the same time, you gained a little respect from others. And maybe next time, no one will fuck with you. I mean, it didn't help. They continued to do it. But still, in your mind, it was like, hey, this is what I stand for, and I'm going to rock like this. Thumps definitely thunderstruck and slapped the shit out of that Upstater or that Bisar, however they want to call it, right? And is he going to get more respect for it? No. It's just a situation where, hey, he handled his business. He did what he was supposed to do. See, there's dudes that are going to be like, oh, the homie Thumps is really with it, man. Shit, see, he ain't no punk. See, Zod, see, he's really down. And then there's going to be a lot of well-laced Norteños that are like, all right, homie, I see you. You did exactly what you're supposed to do. And that's just it. I don't think Thumps is a bad person. I don't think he's going out of his way looking for animosity and problems and trouble. But I don't think he's the type to shy away from it either. And this is a perfect example of a dude walking up on him and getting the Greg Brady slapped out of him. He got Brady bunched, right? That dude put a whole bunch of lightning in his hand and just slapped the dog shit out of him. And then in the video, you see them go behind a car and the dude's on the ground. Look, I don't know if Thumps has hands. He has slaps. I know that. He gave him the old Nate Diaz Stockton slap. Now, that doesn't mean the Southsiders should feel some type of way like, fuck this dude. That just means, hey, you got to see it in HD. This dude will fight. I think most gang members will fight. Not all, but most, right? Thumps definitely will. The people that are running around the internet, denying, oh, man, that was just a fight. That dude was an upstate Southsider who felt some type of way and walked up. He should have just fucking went and put his groceries away, postured up, and handled his business, right? You could see Thumps was like, what? So that dude obviously said something, and it just went down. Now, there's a lot of young Norteños running around the internet. Yeah, that's how we do it. No, that's how he does it, bro. That ain't how you do it in particular. That's how Thumps does it. Respect, right? But that doesn't mean that's how you do it. It was always funny when I'd see younger homies and they'd be like, yeah, our hood, bro, we're putting it down. No, I'm putting it down. Okay? I seen the other day you had a fucking pistol. You put that down when we jumped off the car. Like, no. Stop, right? And that's just the way it is. Doesn't mean everyone's punks and suckers, man. It just means like dudes they'll try to claim the fame off the gang. Go outside and you gangbang. Right? To me, do you understand how foolish this shit is though, really? 2 brown men, 2 Mexicans. One wears blue, the other one wears red. No big deal. I wear red all the time. I wear blue sometimes, green. Colors don't matter, man. I'm not even gonna lie. This was my only clean sweater today. That's why I threw it on. The hat matched. Fuck it, let's go. Bulls, right? And it's not to be flamed up in game because I don't do that no more. But I'll say this, it's hilarious when I see all these guys. They're like, hey, yeah, we did this. It's your own people, bro. Brown people. We need to stop, man. You're falling right into the palm of the system's hands. What's going to happen? One of you guys it's going to never stop. A retaliation. Finally, someone's going to end up getting killed. And then you're going to go do life in prison. And now you got another Mexican that's gone and another Mexican that's gone locked up forever. This shit's stupid, right? Anyways, with that being said, that's what's going on right now. Thumpz gets into it with the Upstate Southsider in Reno and slapped the mustard off his hot dog, right? Slop the tap off the tapatio. It's not even called tapatio anymore in Sacramento. It's just called tio. He slapped the tap out of it. And there's going to be a lot of dudes that are going to say, oh, he was just a paisa. He was just a this. He was just a that. Look, I'm going to say something controversial, man. Shout out to the Upstaters. Shout out to the Southsiders, man. I got a number of respect and love for you guys. I've always showed that respect, and I think I've earned my seat at the table to say this, right? And be real. There's always been this myth. I guess you can call it a myth, but I'm gonna break the myth right now down, right? There's always been a lot of Nortenos that say, oh man, the Southsiders upstate are just spy-siders. They're just paisas, bro. When you hit them up, me no bang. They don't want that smoke, right? I'm here to tell you that's not the truth. There are a lot of Chicanos. There are a lot of Mexicanos. There are a lot of paisas. There are a lot of people that are Southsiders, blacks and whites and all that shit. And they're all with the business. Not every single one of them, just like every Norteno isn't, but the majority of them are. You have to be up north. To claim the whole opposite, you have to have a little thug in you, like a Tupac song, right? But there are situations where they are paisas, and they will claim that, right? And I know Nortenos that are paisas as well. What's the big deal, man? Gangbanging is gangbanging. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. It just is what it is. But the myth of Norteños fucking treat all the paisas bad, and no, it's not like that. It's just that they considered, and there was a lot of the Southsiders in the beginning when they first started peeking their head out and coming out. There was a lot of dudes that were paisas, and they felt because Norteños took advantage of the situation with paisas that they were going to band together and they were going to be in direct opposition. So yeah, it's true. It's true, man. There are a lot of paisas, upstate Southsiders. Doesn't mean all of them are like that, and it doesn't mean it's a bad thing, anyways. Motherfucker, anyone can get it. That's just the truth. Anyways, Thumps slapped the shit out of a dude, man. People are running around. Some people, Thumps did that, and some people, man, right? Look. It don't matter, man. It was just a fucking fight, and Thumps won. Straight up. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I really believe in, man. And that's the betterment of all people. North, South, Upstate. It don't matter, man. I hear a lot of people, Gunner, you disrespect Upstaters. No. But I really gangbanged against Upstaters, man. So I really know what they're about. I got family that are upstairs. I'm going to tell you right now. Shit. Them motherfuckers is with the business. This video is sponsored by Vario Liquors out there in Turlock, California. If you're ever in the area, pull up to Turlock, California. Go get you something cold to drink and support the Vario. Also by Sticks and Stones Yard Service out there in Tucson, Arizona. Give that man a call. And if you need something done at your house, man, I guarantee he got you. Just don't leave your old lady alone, man. My boy sound like Darth Vader. You hit him up on the phone like, hey, I need you to come cut my lawn. He'd be like, well, that's going to run you about $90. The gun.